Hey y'all, this is Mike with Raider Dog Ranch. Today we're going to be doing a review on this 20-in-1 Gordon multi-tool. Now this tool is all over social media, it's really popular, and the reason that it's popular is because it's a complete clone of the Leatherman Wave. Not the Wave Plus, the newer one, but the original Leatherman Wave. You may know that the Leatherman Wave is the most popular multi-tool ever sold, so it's kind of the flagship product for multi-tools. So it makes great sense for somebody to clone it. And others have cloned it over the years, but I don't know if anybody's cloned it as closely as this Gordon. So we're going to go through the review of this product. We're going to compare that to the Leatherman, and then I'm going to provide my opinions at the end on whether this is worth the fraction of the cost of the Leatherman. So if you're interested, come along for the ride. But before we get started, if you enjoy this video, please hit the like button. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel. I am a very small growing channel. Every subscription really helps. Right now I'm at the 900 subscriber mark. I'm really pushing to try to hit that 1,000 mark. Every subscription counts. So thank you for your support. Before we jump into the Gordon, I wanted to set a baseline with the Leatherman since that is the clone. So we're going to go through it first. Check out the case. Obviously a Velcro cover. You just heard that. A small little pocket here behind the tool that you could put something small in. And then these tiny little, it's kind of double layered on the sides. So maybe you could put a pocket flashlight or something small in the sides here and they would be held separately from the knife. So that's pretty handy. And then you got kind of a drain hole on the bottom in case it gets wet, and the belt loop on the back. Pretty standard case, well designed. And then the Leatherman tool itself, we'll start with the blades on the outside. You've got a serrated edge blade here. Nice multi-level serrated. Then on this side, you have a file. On this side, you have a medium to coarse crosshatch file. Then on the other side, you have a diamond crusted fine edge file there. On this side, they do angle it a bit. I don't know if you can see that, but they angle it kind of like this. So this could be kind of used as an edge. I've read some stuff that says that could be used as like a metal cutting saw, like a hacksaw. No, it can't. It's way too thick, first of all, and there's not enough of an edge or teeth there to cut any real metal. So I'm not sure what that would be used for, other than maybe scoring something that could be useful. On the other side, we've got our standard straight edge blade. Nice grind on that edge. I guess that's a drop point. It's kind of like an aggressive drop point, kind of going in toward a tanto, but more of a drop point. And here we have a saw. So this saw has high and low blades, and you can see they alternate on each side. It's a good pattern for a saw. And then we open up the pliers. Very sturdy. Like, they really lock into place. They're not gonna, they're not spring assisted, but you could definitely use them one-handed. You've got cutters here in the middle that overlap. The jaws overlap just a little bit. And then downward to the bottom, a bit of a wire cutter notch that can be used for that. And then looking at the tools on the inside, first of all, you have a scale here, metric on this side, standard on this side. You've got a bit tool. These all lock into place as well with this cam lock on the back. You got a Phillips and a flathead here. These are really held in well. They use kind of a spring tension on this side here to hold this bit in, but that's a flathead and Phillips combination. Leatherman does sell a bit set. They have an extension, and then they have a whole set of bits that you can buy as an add-on. And I don't think they offer that with the Gordon, at least not yet. And that's going to be kind of important because these aren't the standard hex design. This is a Leatherman design of how thin that is to fit in the knife. So it could be hard to find something affordable. You'd pay almost as much for the bit set as you did for the knife. Still not a complete loss, but something to think about there. And then the other component on this side is a can opener and bottle opener. You just push this button here to unlock those when they lock out. Same thing is true on this side. You've got your push lock, and you've got scissors, spring-loaded scissors, so easy one-hand operation. And then you've got flathead screwdriver and this little micro screwdriver. This one almost like an eyeglass kind of screwdriver or precision electronics. This one's also interchangeable. It's has Phillips on one head and flathead on the other side. And again, it's sort of a spring assist. You can see that little wire in there is what's assisting this to stay in nice and tight. So there you go. That is your 18 tools. I didn't count them because I would have lost count when I was trying, but this is your Leatherman that we're going to baseline. And now we're going to compare that to the Gordon. And here's the Gordon in the case. You can see it's a little bit more narrow, and I think that's because they give you this little bit of slack on the Leathermans that I was talking about to create space on the sides. This one is pretty snug and actually fits really tight when you first get it out of the box. So here we have a snap on the case, not a Velcro, a belt loop on the back, and that's about it for this one. There's nothing else more to talk about. See, there's no extra space for anything else. So that's a little bit of a lean toward the Leatherman. So if we compare these kind of side by side, same for same, the locking mechanism, all of that looks the same. A little bit different material, it looks like. The footprint is almost exactly the same. Yeah, looking on the top end and on the bottom end. And here is the Gordon. It does come with a belt clip by default. I understand you can get a belt clip for the Leatherman, but since it comes with the case, I'm sure most people don't miss that. So we'll start with the first add-on tool. This is the serrated edge, but also notice that there's a gut hook here on the edge. Gut hook is the common term because it's used to gut fish and things like that. But this edge, any hooked edge can be used for any sort of pull cutting motion, right? I could cut this material here. I could cut seat belts, ropes, whatever I need to. But if I need leverage to pull, the gut hook style cutting edges are really nice. So that's a nice add-on that you can get on some other Leatherman's versions, but not on the Wave. All right, on the other side here, we have our saw, and the saw is slightly different design from what you saw on the Leatherman, but not much. So comparing them side by side, this is more of a pull cut. Notice how the teeth are leaning back. That means you'll cut on the pulling stroke. This one's more neutral, so you'd probably get less resistance when you're pulling on this one. Probably similar cutting results. Much taller teeth on this one. And on your drop edge, on your drop blade, again, very, very similar. A little bit less aggressive on the drop tip than on the Wave. The Wave rounds off a little more aggressively, and you get a little bit more of an eye hole on the Gordon than you did on the Leatherman, so maybe a little more catch when you're opening one-handed. But again, super similar. And the file, oh, let me go to this side. The file in the same and the file on the Gordon, the diamond file on this side and the medium cross grind, cross hatch on that side. Very similar again. You can take this belt clip off really easily. It is locked in with the cam lock, so if I push down on this and push up on the belt clip, you see it fits down in that groove and locks in under the cam lock right there with this edge right here. So very easy to take off if you don't want it on there. Actually a little bit smoother opening with the Gordon. Same design, same overlapping cutting jaws, same notch there for more like a wire stripper design in the middle. The one thing that the Gordons have that the Leatherman does not, if you look right here in the middle, they say that these are wire crimpers on this side. You can use that for any kind of, crush connection. So that's kind of nice. It kind of uses, there's a little bit of a tooth function there and then a little flat function up here, depending on what you need it for. So that's kind of a nice add-on. I don't see that on the Leatherman. The Leatherman pinches up just directly on those. It's not really designed with a roll-up feature to grab like the Gordon was. So that's a nice thought. All right, and then we're going to go to the side tools. Exactly the same tools. You're going to get the bottle opener, the can opener. You're going to get the same bit attachment, Phillips and flathead. The difference here is this feels like it's a magnetic attachment. Yeah, I can see a magnet right down in the bottom of this. I don't know if you can see that. So that is not holding as well. That comes out much easier than the Leatherman. So that's something to keep an eye on. It can't fall out as long as it's closed because you have this little stop in here. So that's a good design. The Leatherman has the same stop to prevent tools from falling out. And then on this side, we've got our scissors. Again, one-handed, spring-loaded. Pretty straightforward. Flathead screwdriver, same. And micro precision screwdriver, same. Well, almost same. Notice they don't have the little spring-loaded clip in here that holds it in place. In fact, I don't think there's anything, maybe, oh yeah, this is a magnet. So they hold it in place with a magnet right alongside it rather than a spring, kind of a spring wire holding it tight. Again, not as tight as the Leatherman. I don't think you would lose it because of how they put these stops in here to prevent it from falling out, but if you did have it out and you were working on it, I could see that becoming a problem. One more additional feature on the Gordon that is not included on the Leatherman. There's a tiny little bump right here that they call a window breaker or a glass breaker. I suppose if you were to hold it like this and hit a glass, that's the idea, that it would break it. I don't love this feature because I don't see how you're gonna, that's gonna take a precision hit, I think, to hit that versus, just hitting both of them. I would think in a pinch, and also this is right where the belt clip goes on. So if you have the belt clip on, it stands up above this glass breaker. So I don't know about the glass breaker. If you don't have the belt clip on, there's a chance, but I think I'd almost rather just use this as a glass breaker. Holding it like that, I think you're going to have better luck. And if you're in that situation where you need to break glass, your adrenaline's pumping and bad things are going on, so you're going to need to go to the fastest thing that you think about. I don't know if I'm going to think about this little tip, but it's a tool nonetheless. All right, we'll see what we have for weight. First, the Leatherman, 8.47 ounces. That equals about a half a pound, 240 grams. 854 ounces, 242 grams, and a half a pound. So if I get that just off, it comes to a number that we can more relate to. 1 5/16 inches and 3/4 of an inch wide. All right, with the belt clip, Yeah, 61 64. Close enough to an inch wide. Do that to this side. What's the widest point? This is these, where these blades are. 1 7/16. 32, 35. And the width at the thinnest, or let's go to the thickest without the belt. 18. With the belt, 23. 100 millimeters. It feels like it's going to be slightly wider on this guy. Just barely wider. I would call it the same. Come to this side where there is no depth. Yeah, same. Again, I'm backing it off a little bit to find a more common number. And then we were 3/4 wide. So I think it is a little bit more narrow. See the space that I've got between my finger over here on this side? Right here. It is slightly thinner, but I'm talking millimeters, fractions. Thinnest width, 31. Thickest width, almost 37. Profile, 17.5. You know, we did measure full length this way, about 100 millimeters. Okay, so after looking these over, what's my opinion? My opinion is it really depends on how much you use your tool. I'm going to say these are so incredibly similar. I think buying them off the shelf, if you didn't know any better, if you were blind buying them or blind using them, I really don't think you would know the difference of which tool you had in your hand. They work very, very similarly and smoothly. What I can't tell you is I just took this one out of the package. How does this hold up over 1, 5, 10 years? And this is one of the key things between these two. So what we're looking at is a $40 multi-tool versus a $120 multi-tool. Part of the difference in that is this tool is made in America. It's made in Oregon. This tool is made in China. We know that parts are made cheaper in China, partly due to labor costs and things like that. But you know, we didn't do a steel analysis on these. These may be a much better steel, but I'll say the weight, the finish, all of that looks very, very similar. The other thing that you're going to get with the Leatherman is a 25-year warranty. If warranties are important to you, I think this is the tool that you buy and you like buying quality products. If you're a budget buyer, and I tend to be more on this side, I would rather buy this 3 times over 10 years. But let me qualify that. I don't use this tool every day. I have an office job. If I'm out working in the field or in a trade and I need this on my hip every day and I need to rely on it, I can't really run to the store if it breaks to go buy another one, then I think the Leatherman probably wins. So I don't think it's so clear cut to say, well, you know, this is an exact replica. We don't know that yet. We don't know if we put this thing through a torture test, how long it's going to hold up. So that's my honest opinion. I think if you want a quality multi-tool that appears to feel, function exactly like the Leatherman, this Gordon multi-tool is a good choice for you. And if you're just going to throw it in a bag or it's going to stay in your car, I would say it's almost definitely the choice for you. But if you're a craftsman, a tradesman, someone that works with your hands every day and uses multi-tools on a regular basis, I think it's really hard to make that easy decision to say that the Gordon is going to save you money. In the long run, it may not save you money or save you time in your job. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you like to watch product reviews like this or DIY projects. And hit the notify button so that you can be notified when new videos come out. Thanks for watching. See you next time.